Welcome to this Newired presentation. Today we will cover most aspects of our web application. We also have a live demo planned, and by the end you should have all the information needed on why you should choose Newired as your digital transformation partner. Our mission here at Newired is to define new digital ways and reduce the distance between people and the digital world. We started our journey in 2016 and have been constantly praised by customers and independent software review companies for our transparency in price and all-around delivery of our application. We diligently continue working at improving our software as we expand in the market. At the core, we provide a guidance system that allows the end user to learn by doing within their application. We help public and private organizations reclaim the power by providing a non-technical overlay on their application that guides the end user through a specific process or can nudge people along through a complex task, be it over one or multiple applications displayed in multiple languages if needed. As more public organizations go digital, they have a double challenge to face here. As public employee diversity is improving, the requirements for multi-language support is needed. And among the citizens with different profiles, which include the elderly people who are often not used to digital resources, are now forced into sending forms and requests online. Here we have a graph showing the training constraints that are faced in traditional training methods. In most cases, retraining staff is required. And if there is a change request lodged to the process management, a noticeable drop-off is experienced, causing a perceived failure of the application or the process. We address this in multiple ways, like reducing support requests, cutting training costs, improving application adoption, and employee productivity. This stat is brought to us by one of the leading information technology research and consultancy companies. Gartner states most digital transformations fail due to the points I mentioned in the previous slide. Also, that technology is advancing exponentially. And training costs constant training is mandatory, to name a few, but most importantly, failure to adapt adds a compounding effect to the backlog in costs and user acquisition or retention related to adopting digital technology. We know administrations are experiencing multiple challenges in this fast-changing technology world. Some points listed on the screen, like failure to adapt, effective adoption, advancing in technology, constant training is one of the biggest challenges here. We here at Newired believe to hold the solution to this problem. It's called Newired Journeys, an interactive step-by-step guidance system to almost any web application. So some of our clients already using Newired have shown a 53% saving when it came to internal training costs, which is big and very important. They also increase the user interactions within a short period of time and found traffic to their knowledge base increase tenfold. We provide a smooth process for all involved to make the digital transformation, with very little technical knowledge needed to create a robust guidance system focused on users. There is a little technical skills needed in the initial setup, which happens once. Thereafter, we enable people to design, create guides, create announcements, tooltips, polls, and other content that will be implemented on their web application and available in context when it is needed. We do not track any user personal data in any way. For reporting purposes, we track the journeys only. This helps you understand which journeys are working well and what needs to be improved on. There are 3 ways to have the application deployed: an on-site proxy server solution for high-level security customers and public organizations, a dedicated cloud solution serving up the Newired application, or a simple web browser extension allowing all your users the access to the guidance tools. Newired functions across multiple web applications, easily guiding or supporting users along the way, taking the complication out of simple and complex tasks alike. So you can learn by doing directly in your app, not miles away. Okay, now I've prepared a short video demo to show you how Newired looks and how you can enrich any web application with our overlay that guides users through the process or the application itself. So let's start there.
Our Newired journeys can assist users during simple and complex tasks alike. Let's look at one example of a journey for VitalCheck, a public portal used in the United States, where citizens can request birth and death certificates and marriage and divorce records. We'll follow users through the request for a birth certificate. At first, you need to select who this certificate is for, yourself or another person. You also need to insert different data: name, surname, city, and state. Users also need to sign, submit forms, see prices, and select the shipping method. Due to the complexity of this request, it's easy to make mistakes when submitting it. With Newired, the user is never left wondering or abandoned somewhere in the process. Doesn't matter if they're acquainted with web portals or online requests or not. And finally, they can submit the request, even if this is the first time they've used the portal. This was just one example of how Newired can help citizens get by with the digitizing of public services. It can also be very useful to public administration employees who are now expected to perform their jobs using diverse software. Citizens and employees alike perceive it as part of the service portal system. And unlike cloud-hosted solutions, Newired provides governments and public organizations with the important and secure option for the hosting of our platform and data, on premises, under their control. Newired offers you a safe, low-cost way to help citizens and employees use your portals. Our Newired.
So you've seen we have the solution, a guidance tool that just works. It's easy to try. We offer a 14-day trial with a free editor. You can arrange with our customer engagement managers for proof of concept if needed. Our application is a really simple subscription based web app solution that will reduce training costs, ensure the proper completion of processes or tasks, and help you overcome any digital transformation hurdles. To recap, Newired is simple. No user data is extracted, making it very secure. And it puts the control back in your hands on what you are actually publishing. We offer multi-application support. And this can also be set up for multi-language display. Best of all, it's non-technical to use with all with a easy subscription-based model. The most important value-added service is training, how to perform the transition from conservative training methods to a digital adoption platform. Well, the concepts such as gamification of the learning experience, a learn by doing approach to training. So we've come to the live area of our demo. Let's take a quick look and see how easy it is to configure and set up a guidance journey live in our Newired application. To launch the application, I just switch some screens. So we are in our Newired editor. This is where you will manage the journeys, tips, and so on, the playbooks. This is a default or sandbox CRM application. For this demo, we utilize the sandbox. So the first thing we want to do is we want to show people how to create a new user. So let's create a new journey. We'll call it new user and say save. Okay, as we see, we have a new user journey name. We'd like to add a step and a call out. The first thing we'd want them to do is click on create. We can just move this to an area that is more easy to see and confirm the change. The next step is we'd like them to create account. Call out create account. We can also just move that in a place that's easy, confirm. Once they are in this part of the page, we can add a new step. We'll say here, we can move it to an area that is please. So we say type your full name here. Good. And we can also then add another call out, and we can maybe put in a description of some nature. We'll say type the area, okay, the area you work in here. Good. Let's just delete that. Okay. And confirm the change. And lastly, we want them to click on save. And let's just move that in an area that is easily seen. And just like that, in less than a minute or so, we've created our first guidance journey. We can test it by running it from here. We have the option to click here. Okay, so we click again, It tells us to put in our name, and then we put in our area of work, and thereafter we click on save. Good. So I've created a journey, a very simple journey on how to create a new account. The user, when they would like to see these journeys, will launch it from here, and this would be new user. They could launch it as many times as they'd like, or you could have some tools that nudge them in areas like the country code or the state that you want specifically added. And that's it. In a few clicks, we've created a journey that shows an end user how to create a new user. So let's get back to our presentation. It's as you've seen, it's a simple solution to help you get more out of your current web application, reduce costs for operation, and ensure that the successful completion of processes and tasks. I urge you to get in contact with us and try it for yourself. See how easy it is to work with. So thank you all for your time today, and we will open it up for a few questions. Let's see if we have some questions come through. We have a question saying, can I do translations? Yes. So translations, we have a very unique way of doing translations. We can translate into multiple languages very easily. This has been successfully used in some of the comune here in Italy, Comune di Milano. We also use it in one of the New York City health departments. So this is something that we do exceptionally well. We have another question here saying, how much work does it need from our IT department? So this is a good question. If you host with us on a dedicated hosting solution, most of that work is done by us through the setup process and for the constant updating of our software. That is all done through the hosting providers. If you choose to go the on-premise setup way, there is a little bit of interaction that needs to take place within the IT department to get the setup done, MAC addresses, these sort of things. And also when we do our quarterly update on the software, our planned releases, that needs to be installed by your departments. Look, it does not need to be an IT department. It's not very technical. It's just an update to the software. So to answer your question, there's a minimal amount of the time needed from your IT department. We have another question here. Can I start journeys halfway in the process? So the answer is yes, we can. We can have a tooltip or a nudging option set up within the journey. So for example, if you hover over a box, or if they see some sort of exclamation mark, that can start off new journeys halfway through a process, or even nudge someone along the right way. So that's also a very good question. Yes. Yeah, we have a question with regards to the subscriptions. A lot of all the pricing and subscriptions are on our website, newired.com. Under the pricing section, you can choose the number of users, and for an in-depth understanding of the actual costing, I suggest getting in contact with our customer engagement managers. They are always available to set up some time. We can redo a demonstration for more people in the office. So please get in contact with us. I see there's no other questions coming in. So thank you very much for your time today, and we hope to see you in the future.